You're listening to I'm Telling You. You're listening to I'm Telling You.
Hey fam, welcome back to another episode of I'm Telling You.
I'm telling you.
You know you'll read this. I am Ron Burgundy. Yeah, this is I'm Telling You with Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Fact check is clickety clack of SJD.
Yeah, and as always, if you want, please reach out to us because we would love that. Tell us how awesome we're doing at our job, or give us some movie quotes.
Hit me up at Gemini, Gemini at directionsandmusic.org.
Or just jump right in there, man. We didn't even get our ITY or nothing.
No, we'll get it in. Don't worry.
Well, dude, that's what he said. Yeah, Philly D PHILLYD. Well, you gotta be get off my Kool-Aid.
Double LYD.
Yeah, it's just Lily. Yeah, directionsandmusic.org.
Or ITY at directionsandmusic.org.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hit all three of us up. You can get the fact checker or me and Mr. Gemini. We respond to as many as possible. So
if Voltron was only 3, that's how we do.
I mean, it would be a weird looking tiger. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna be weird. I'm gonna need 2 dragons.
You got a head and 2 arms. I don't know.
But yeah, first time listeners.
Dragons.
Yeah, we're already sidetracked. That's what happens. Yeah, first time listeners. This is an organic conversation between a 31-year plus friendship now.
Well, between a dreamer and what did I call myself?
I don't know. I don't think it was
esoteric,
at that party.
Existentialist. I don't know.
The combination of the salivation of the
salivation,
Constantinople was once.
What? Istanbul
was once Constantinople.
They might be giants.
I mean, I might have a bee in my bonnet. What?
You might want to look at that. I don't think I'd want
you might want to get that.
Probably get that out of there.
Get that checked out.
Yeah,
you should.
How do you go through the desert on a horse with no name? Name the damn horse. I'm just saying.
Bro.
I'm just saying.
Bro.
Name the fucking horse.
Bro.
Have some damn respect. You know
Call it Carl for just something.
Just Hank.
All right.
I don't Jessica. I don't know. I'm not judging. There's no judging.
Something.
I don't know whatever. If you know what you're.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's like you should have Susie Sparkles. Who gives a crap?
I feel like you should have a strong connection with an animal that's going to take you through the entire desert. That's just me.
I mean, I feel like that with pretty much anything. That's why I name all my stuff pretty much.
That's mine.
Well, no, it's just so when I
go to parties, I write that on my cup. Mine.
Yeah, you do that.
That's mine.
But I like.
No, look, read that. It's mine.
I like being able to address something as another entity, to give it that true respect and commonality of that, to be that cordial, to whether you're inanimate or not, to give you life or a soul in a sense, to allow you to be an entity. Yeah.
So you're saying I'm like a cartoon character, but you're allowing me to have life. You're giving me life.
That's exactly what I said.
Yes.
That's exactly what I said. I called you a cartoon character.
It's not always about you, jackass. No, I'm trying to find a correlation with what you're saying there.
So rock.
So
your basketball,
really powerful ideas.
Your bet. You do anything.
Can be just as important as a personality in a way.
Absolutely. I mean, in all honesty, as things grow, they become their own thing anyway. So, I mean, sounds like they had their soul to begin with. I don't know, the whole thing about planting a seed and watching it grow.
So and I trip over this all the time. If there's a highway of information just slightly out of our conscious grasp without, performing some kind of exercise to try and put yourself in that timeless.
So like the Akashic records, but ease of access, almost like if you just pull it up on your phone.
Yes. So I'm just saying, like, the fact that all that stuff has always been there. Like, who's to say we didn't find all this stuff thousands of years ago, make it, and it was extremely successful and extremely dangerous at the same time, and just blew up and took every trace of everything from history. I mean, like, you want to say, like, some of the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Sumerians, you know. Remember we were talking last time about, like, rock that had been basically melted by some kind of, I mean, the only thing we can imagine is something that can reach, like, you know, 2,500, 10,000 degree. I don't know. Some kind of crazy.
121 gigawatts.
I don't know. Some kind of crazy temperature. Like the
what kind of power
surface
that
of the sun.
Need a bolt of lightning.
The sun doesn't really have a surface per se, but just, you know.
It's a gelatinous
the general
glob.
area of
Why you like waxed on when you said that general area? Like, what are you wiping the sun's butt? This general area.
Does the sun
general area.
Wait, does the sun have a butt?
But yeah, it's got a really hot butt.
It's connected.
Ew.
It's connected black hole.
Dude, I don't even know what you're saying right now. You're so gross sometimes.
That's the opposite. A sun is.
A sister is the opposite of a sun.
Sun is all pure radiation, right? And a black hole is kind of like, it's the reverse of that, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a physicist.
It's like the hole to the button.
It's like the hole of the button.
I'm just saying.
Shotgun.
Infinite possibility. My God, it's full of stars.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I think we watched this one video. We all kind of passed it around.
That's what she.
We're not talking about two cups. No,
that's what he said, actually.
But the video we were. Oh, gee, don't drink, don't drink. Yeah, it's still warm.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, the video we were watching where it was talking about the amount of information that it would take to represent the idea of a black hole just so happens mathematically to be the same amount of information that is just orbiting the relative exterior of the hole before it gets absorbed in. And I said, because I remember this, I said, what if it was like the cable or the coax
And that's
or
giving it extra credit, probably. Yeah.
Well, what if it was coax or fiber optics? What if it was a cable of data, and that's us as it's exiting the machine for a data point as this component that we live within is connected to something else.
So you're saying we're
like Wreck-It Ralph, where you can go through the power cords in a sense.
You're saying we're connected to a machine, or you're just
I'm saying like video game idea.
trying to draw a correlation from the
move your seat.
possibilities. Yeah, I need to move my chair up.
You've learned this lesson already. But you know, like I said, Wreck-It Ralph with the cable where you can go through each machine. So almost like that. So that the black hole, as it's wrapping itself in, giving it that, I don't know, a teardrop reverse shape where it's the teardrop is behind the black hole. So you have that rolled edge as everything dips into it.
You're talking about the center of a torus.
I don't know.
You've ever seen a torus shape? You know, it's funny because I was just cooking pasta tonight, and like when you get pasta boiling, it actually will roll around the center like a donut.
Yeah.
Just like a natural torus, which makes perfect sense why it would do that, because the convection of the heated current from the water getting heated by the element in the stove and everything, that it's
seems like a mushroom
it's naturally
cloud.
rising and falling in this in a circular pattern that goes from the center of the pot out in all directions and around and back again. So there's no like beginning and no end. It's this beautiful dance that the noodles do. And I was just like, wow. Sorry, total tangent. But anyway.
That's how I think that's a great point. Well, that's what I was saying. So to me, it was
the torus is that tornado shaped thing in the middle of the funnel.
Yeah, I was saying the atomic, like the mushroom cloud, because then you get that ring from the atomic blast as it goes up the center of the shaft of the actual mushroom. So it's like that cloud ring.
Yeah, that's the same, because what you're talking about is you're superheating and expanding air at such a rapid rate that it's got nowhere else to go but straight up until finally it reaches a point where it starts to cool and then it comes back down. So it does create a torus shape or like a rolling donut off the top of the,
Now I want a donut. Yeah, so like that's what I was saying. So what if that was a way to explain why this data or information disappears into nothing? Because in this world, we can't perceive that other side. That's why I'm like, dude, we're in a video game, bro. I'm telling you, this is like Tron, but way doper, like Grand Theft Auto style.
Well, I mean, are we? And it's just kind of going out of control on its own because it's got basically the 7 principles built into it or whatever, or I don't know. I always come back to that was the second law of thermodynamics, atrophy.
Well, you can't destroy or matter only can be changed.
Well, no, but there's a natural winding down of everything, like almost that if you believe that there's a delineation between a beginning and an end, as opposed to the fact that they're really the same thing.
But see, if you think
just
about
wild, man.
Yeah, think about it with Einstein, how he always talks about, he's like, hey, if you're going from here to here and you get to halfway point of that, then you go from here to here and halfway point of that.
And never actually arrive.
You'll only keep always happiness. You'll never actually reach it.
But that's the trick about mathematics, though. What he was trying to express is that there's more out there than what you can understand and graph on paper, because if you do it all on paper, it makes no sense. There never is a destination, and it's all an illusion anyway. So if you believe in the concept that interstellar travel is possible within several times within one lifetime, that means you basically have to fold time and space. And the truth of the matter is time and space exist they can't exist one without the other. They are the same thing. Time and space is required in order to have a fourth dimensional reality.
There is no spoon.
Well, what is a spoon? Well, I mean, that's the question. The spoon is a vibratory pattern.
Yeah, see, that's why. Remember when I was talking about...
So is there a spoon or is there not a spoon? If you could change the vibratory pattern, it would no longer be a spoon, or it would bend on on ease, like from you touching it, like you're a magician or something.
That's what I was saying. I really enjoy the perception of what they put out for the Sorcerer's Stone with Nicolas Cage and Jay Bouchel or whatever, where he's trying to teach him that magic is really just science. And so, yeah, while we're all these just vibrating molecules that as we vibrate them together, they can solidify or come apart or turn into fire, and he's basically explaining to him. Or we can
use resonant frequencies to break up certain, I mean, we're doing that in science now. We're doing that, where it enters into our health life. Using certain frequencies to break up, whether it's like a gallstone or a kidney stone or whatever, some kind of stone. But the resonant frequencies, we were also talking that could potentially cure cancer, right? I mean, that
well, not so much cure, but eliminate it from it.
Basically destroy it from the inside out.
Yeah, as it has an onset, we can fight it without chemo and stuff. So not cure it, but fight it.
But I mean, yeah, if you could tap into a frequency that would only destroy the cancer cell and leave all naturally occurring whatever human cells, that's a serious advancement in technology. How come nobody talks about this stuff?
I mean, we are,
but
we have a few times.
And it's kind of, is it out there? Or I mean, it seems like
it takes open-minded, holistic doctors.
I mean, but we're still using antiquated means by basically slowly poisoning the human body until you destroy the cancer cells, and then hopefully bringing that body back to life again.
You just got really morbid, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't like the way that I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why, I mean, we all definitely have a very much altered perception of what holistic healing is between diet, mentality, exercise.
Body wants to be healthy.
Well, that's why what they say, just listen to your heart. Like if you listen to your body.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but when you listen to your body, it tells you what, not only I'm hungry, but what it wants to eat. You know, and that's usually it saying, hey, I need a nutritional factor of whatever is in here. Like you got to get me Cheetos right now. Like for some reason, it's like, I need some of that MSG and number 7-9 orange tangerine, whatever, you know, and then it's, for some reason, it's like, hey, just listen to your body and it'll point you in the right direction. Same thing as like, hey, I'm tired right now, you know, or I'm
well, and I can get into that.
And I want to build knowledge.
I can get into that way more than a lot of these fad diets that pop up that say, well, you have a certain blood type, so there's certain foods that don't agree with you naturally and all this other stuff. And it's like, my only point is, couldn't we all agree that it's probably better to consume things that are naturally, whether organically or not, naturally grown? You know, shouldn't we eat a higher percentage of things that literally grow from the earth that surrounds us, things that have been around forever?
Well, isn't that what Matthias talked about, where he was like,
things that have been touched by the sun?
Yeah, things that have been kissed. And to me, that's...
But once you eat processed foods, like it doesn't matter if there's broccoli in that. Like that's not the same thing as eating broccoli, like from a fresh garden or even fresh broccoli from the grocery store.
Well, right, because sometimes they're usually like, you know, dehydrated, compressed extract, something, or I don't know.
Flash frozen and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that's why we're always talking about, at least I'm always talking about doing the whole permaculture, you know, food forest, planting like, you know, fruit trees and different plants. And I mean, you're talking, you know, vegetation. So you're getting plenty of leaf and whatnot. Plus anything you like, if you grow in abundance, you can compost it. And you know what I mean? It's all, what were you going to say?
Yeah, we've been talking about getting one of those aeroponic tower gardens and just growing all of our own fruits and vegetables at the house. Because you could do like 30 to 40 vegetables on like one tower.
Yeah, and you said, I can leave for 2 months and forget about it. And it's like, oh, look at that. They're still alive.
And there's more of them.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if... what's that?
I said, I've seen this happen.
I've seen this happen. You're like, I will kill anything. That's what, if it's a plant, it's going to die. I can't, I don't know. That's all right. You have a learning curve and you're going to get it figured out and you're going to do well. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it is inside.
I think I can.
Well, you've set yourself a goal and you're looking towards to obtain it is what I heard. And that's always a good thing. So... Am I alone on this one? I'm sorry. Okay. Well, then screw you, and I hope your fruits die. Is that what I was supposed to... I didn't feel right. I don't like it. But yeah, no, me, the same thing. I was talking about the aquaponics for me is the same thing. I want to expand and make a much more ease of usage, but also year-round usage where I can produce... maybe not all of my food, but at least some of it, you know, that I know where all my like veggies and my different leaves and stuff. And, you know,
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be all of it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think about it and like, I have to grow a lot of broccoli because I like to eat a lot of broccoli. So,
I'm aware.
I think it takes up a lot of space. So that would probably be a lot of work.
Yeah, but I mean,
but things like that, and then like having chickens, so you can have your own eggs.
Yeah, we were talking about that too, and that's, I mean, again, your own goats, goats, and that's the thing though, is it really doesn't take that much for you to be efficient in working your land and still have plenty of time to do other stuff. I mean, there's plenty of advancements in farming techniques now that are.
If you had your own goat, would you drink the milk fresh?
You'd be like, dude, I just got freaking Jalen silent. This guy's not one of us. It's any fucking sheep. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
Would you try? I mean, like,
Hey, you want to go camping?
Nothing's been done to it. There's been no chemicals added. This is literally like the way that it would be ingested by the young.
I mean, I feel like I would still filter off or something.
It's okay, filter it, but you don't refrigerate, you don't pasteurize, you don't.
I mean, you want to keep it refrigerated. I would say,
like a basic.
I'm looking for.
You skim the chunky stuff off the top and just go to town.
Oh, it's still warm.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, I can't. I mean, if you're gonna put that in your body, would you at least try it one time like that? Is that like?
I mean,
is that weird? Is that
I'm a dumb enough boy, probably.
So like, if you ever tasted your own,
did you know? Oh God, no, dodgeball, right? Is that where you're going? He's like,
sure, yeah.
Is it right to drink my own pee? No, but it's sterile. I like the taste. Just like, all right, that was a little
weird. Gotta admit.
Too much TMI on that. That's way. You should have pulled back. Pull way back. Is it necessary? Oh,
and this is exactly what I'm saying. There's no way to judge or try to figure or decipher or even plan any of this stuff that we do.
You can't write this shit.
I mean, maybe we should start writing some content we've been talking about, but
yeah, but see, you wouldn't remember it though.
No, that's why you actually have to write it down as a script.
See, and like you practice like, it. I am Ron Burgundy. Like, oh,
well, if you write it that way, yeah.
Who put the question mark? Yeah, I mean,
don't put the freaking question mark. Don't be a jerk.
I'm not the best grammatist.
What's our sweatshirt?
Which one?
Don't be a douchebag.
Dude, don't be a douche.
It was just don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, just don't be a douche.
It was like, if there's one rule I can tell you, son, for life.
Yeah, just don't be a douche.
Just real simple.
Yeah, don't be a douche. Four little words.
You know, have respect for others, work for yourself, you know.
Yeah, do unto others is the appropriate way to say it.
But you know, just overall. And I think, you know, I think when you try to sum up all the lessons of the Judeo-Christian values, I think that's what you end up with. Is just, you know, don't be a douche. I think that's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward.
I think even with the 4 agreements. I mean, that's why I'm like, any ism out there for the most part is just don't be a douche.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to just really boil it down to, or, you know.
Which, I mean, honestly, I don't care what your belief system is.
You're going to freebase that whole concept.
You know, 2 + 2 could equal 5 to you. As long as you're not being a douche about it, I really don't care.
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you.
That's what we do here.
I mean, we probably do 2 + 2 = 5. And then JD pops in. She's like, oh, by the way, that was actually 4. So the Wikipedia tells me. It's like,
is it?
Or Wikipedia, that was the one.
And are we even allowed to use that are you actually allowed to use that as a source anymore or ever?
Well, so
is that allowable?
Peer reviewed. No, here's the deal though.
Because it's open.
But here's the deal is you can go to the bottom where they have the citations to back up the statements they're making. You can then go to those articles or books or whatever that reference was.
Or disprove and then what?
I mean, honestly,
vote thumbs up or thumbs down.
A lot of the times when I was, sorry.
Does anybody actually donate money to that site? Because I always get those little pop-ups.
I'm sure plenty of people do, but probably not enough. Who knows? It's still there though.
Like, I ain't got money for that. I'm sorry. Thanks, Wiki.
So a lot of times what I did when I was writing my different papers, because I mean, you know, when I was in college, I had to basically write peer-reviewed style papers and whatnot. I would go find something, see where that person pulled this information to come to this conclusion, do those subsequent works to get a deeper view. You know what I mean? So whenever I would find something where I was like, you know what, I really feel like I'm on to something here, I would find that avenue and run it through where it's like, all right, so where are you guys getting your methodology or your, you know, what is your papers that you read? What is the data that you collected? Like,
So how do you do that for somebody like Walter Russell? I mean, like, you're like 10 grams of... You're like 10 grams of mushrooms or something to get that done? Or, I mean...
See, I mean, you're the Walter Russell guy, so I don't know. I mean, was he doing shrooms in the? I thought he was just meditating.
It was literally just it was putting himself out in complete silence by himself out in wilderness, and
I don't recall
basically finding God in the patterns of everything, and seeing it all kind of as one.
Well, the grand creator, I think, is really the way he was kind of. You know what I mean? The way it was being described as like the one that, you know, the one who painted like, all of it.
You could almost say like the reference to the experience you see like Neo go through when he basically becomes the one, you know, and he can see the code. Like he sees it for what it is, but he also sees the code. So he realizes that it's nothing, but it's like in realizing that you see every describable, tangible aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like, tangible is probably not the right word, but
tangent, man. Oh, I saw what?
Tangible.
Well, yeah, it's
because it's not tangible, man. It's in.
You don't own the beach. It's not your beach. It's God's beach.
It's ineffable.
Oh my God! Please, can we? Oh God. Are you going to say mycelium now?
Were you calling it ineffable?
Let's get all the words out there. Empirical. Where's the rest?
So I don't know. Where were we? I'm sorry.
Oh, you were tangenting, and
was I?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
I think we were
Walter Russell.
Well, yeah, we were on the idea of understanding.
Would you have to take mushrooms to understand Walter Russell? Well, and the question's interesting because like I think I was trying to tell you that like he saw it all. Stop. He saw it all as frequency and pattern and you know, if you could see that in a 3-dimensional waveform, you know, like that's what he saw. So like I was telling you when I first introduced him to you, I was showing you this depiction he had, which was done in a spiral. Like if you think of a piece of paper, it was done in a spiraling from the outside of the paper towards the inside. But in reality, that was a squished down image of the way that he saw it. He saw it pulled out like a giant spiral in midair.
You're talking about the periodic table.
Every drop in frequency, his whole theory was that all of creation is in existence because of the one creator, light. And light creates these two powerful forces. One is radiation and one is gravity. And they pull and push against each other. And that's what creates form. That's what creates matter, from the vibration of these two things pushing against each other. That was his whole theory. And it was all based, so the chemical chart, the periodic table.
Yeah, I was saying the periodic table.
That he saw in spiral form, it was all grouped together based on relative frequencies. And it was broken down into subdivisions of ranges of frequency. Which in a way is kind of the way that it's done, but not the way that he saw it. And the thing I always point out is when he saw it that way, he actually envisioned 6 things that come before hydrogen, which we were only starting to introduce, I think, and understand now. I think we have 2 or 3 of them maybe now, but basically elements that came before or are lower on the chart than hydrogen. We always thought of hydrogen as being the first.
Number 1, because it only has 1, even though it has 3, but it's still
remember
1.
We were saying about you have particles, you have oxygen, but then when something happens during the combustion of oxygen and hydrogen and all this, you get these byproducts that they're kind of like offshoots. They're not actually.
Oh, we were talking about the cars and stuff.
It's almost like shattered pieces of what oxygen was. Like they're just kind of flying off. They're not really usable as oxygen, but that happens all up and down the scale, and that those will change vibration. Like as they lower in vibration, will become other things. That everything is adaptable, that everything is mutable, and that everything can be found. Like there was this whole thing about finding water in certain places where rock has been pushed against rock for so long that it actually jumps through different elements within the chain, and that if you're good enough, you can find water based on basically seeking out a certain vibratory pattern. It's crazy stuff. You know, being able to draw out basically maps or look at an area with like a topographical mindset, you know, seeing highs and lows and
pressure points
and knowing all that kind of stuff and being tuned into it, that there have been almost like wizards who've been able to find water from stone.
See this goes back to, like I was saying, the whole Sorcerer in the Stone, or Sorcerer's Apprentice, where we're talking about doing.
It says the water's older than the sun.
I mean, I'm not here to debate any of that.
Water's older than the sun.
I don't. Where are you getting your information from? Wikipedia. No, that's why I like the idea of being able to really, I guess, have the science behind it, but going to that whole saying of when your technology seems unexplainable, you know, it's indistinguishable from magic. You know, to me, it's very much like that, and that's why
highly advanced technology is I think I'm going to butcher that too, but yeah,
73%.
Highly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic or something like that.
So, but that's pretty much my point, especially with that idea. Just as because with what's the witching rod where you hold a freaking.
Was that a Bradbury? I forget who that was.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
But when you're holding, you know, a split section of wood, you know, twig,
yeah,
basically.
It's a divining rod. Yeah.
It looks like a weird wishbone spin out the other way. And you can find water with that. You know what I mean? Like there's too many coincidences in the physical world that overlap and play with one another. That to me, it goes beyond the idea of just science in the sense of.
Well, this is where I question things about when people say like we're in a quote unquote advanced civilization, but when you think about it, there's people that were many generations before us, many moons ago, who had a better idea of the heavens, had a better idea of the cycles of life, the seasons, how to survive in the wild, you know, and all these things you would have learned, like using a divining rod to find water, to find a place to dig a well, because these are all things you would have been able to do even in Aboriginal times. You know, they had ways of finding certain things if they needed them. And these were all skills that were the type of things that were handed down from grandfather to father to son to, you know, for generations. And there's still some magic out there, but that's where I always say, like, and I don't know how I equate this to the power of just the human conversation between two or more people, but the ability to have the connection with your surroundings in such a way that you can harmonize with it, you know, and then you can find things to your benefit through just paying attention to things like changes in vibratory pattern, which is basically what you're picking up on with the divining rod. So, thoughts, ideas, suggestions?
I honestly think that in these ideas, it really does support further that we're in a video game. I'm sorry, that's just...
You're going to keep pushing that one.
But I think to me, it just makes the most sense.
But why a video game?
I mean, why not?
I mean, I guess that's just, it doesn't really matter because it's just a way to express an understanding of it.
Correct. That's what I pointed it as. All right, so like...
I'm not saying it is a video game. I'm just saying it's kind of video game-like.
All right, so here, I'm going to paint a word picture. You're an entity of light hanging out at a Pizza Hut, right? In the other world dimension, wherever it is that you live as an entity of light. Mm-hmm. You're hanging out at entity of light Pizza Hut spot. And they got those little table johns where you can play like Pac-Man and all that stuff, right?
Right.
All right, so what's to say that you and your friend go to the Pizza Hut to do this, the one friend's like, yo, I want to play. And it's like,
This is a really cool VR game. It's called Earth.
Yeah, right. So the one's like, all right, cool. So they hop in the game where your memory gets wiped and you get to pick like, all right, cool. I want to be, from this area or like this, you get to choose your character and the technical level of like beginner, novice, whatever. And then your other buddy who stays behind to play the Pac-Man style of it, like The Sims, where it's like trying to tell you to do stuff because like you don't know what you're doing because your memory gets wiped.
I get it because it's just like is it a different description of basically the same thing that I've heard for forever. That the truth is that you plan your life before you have it, and that you plan it based on things that you're trying to build on. Like if you have a weakness with your ego, you find a life that attacks your ego at every chance it gets. There's certain energies that follow you because this is the life that you chose. Isn't that a weird thought?
Well, that's
because that you that made that choice is living in a timeless dimension.
Well, yeah.
So it already knows. Knows which way it's going to go before you choose.
And so that's my thing is like, so video game or not, to me, it's more construct to explore or try to understand what is consciousness per se. Because maybe as an entity of light, we don't understand the concept of consciousness because we don't work within time and space. And maybe consciousness is only a concept that works within that idea.
It's within how we're perceiving it, within the vibratory patterns that we can pick up with our five senses. And I know it doesn't make any sense to everybody when I say this, but like when you think about all these things that we can't see that we know of, like radiation through X-rays and being able to see different spectrums of light and being able to see what a human or animal body looks like in ultraviolet, or that there's all these things going on that even though we can't pick up or perceive them are in existence and are real. How hard is it to imagine some of these concepts where, you are in the multiverse, and when you make a choice, are you not slipping from one reality into another? Is that not in itself time travel?
Well, yeah, because we were talking about, you brought up, JD, was the Mandela effect with Publishers Clearinghouse and whether or not it was in fact. And it's like, dude, here's the deal is he was an independent, which means that he was being endorsed to come out and say he was going to hand you a check. Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he's like, yeah. So he never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. That's correct. He was contracted under them to be, he was being endorsed by. So he had a contract working with them to do certain things, and he got paid for that. Mm-hmm. So not an employee, subcontractor, right? Basically. But that's the thing. It's like, dude, but he's still... So the fact that you can't find anything that shows him with Publishers Clearinghouse, which is the original, the one where they show him with the AF whatever something or other is a byproduct of, or a completely different piece or whatever. So it's that he did both.
Yeah, I thought the check had like his picture on it.
Oh, dude, that's the thing. It was all over the TV. Like, we all know this.
Right. So
what I'm saying is like, maybe there's just no more.
It was all there to see.
What if it was that old?
Between the commercials, like, call me now. Miss Cleo.
Oh, geez. No.
Sorry, I brought that up.
No, you're not.
Maybe not.
It's all right.
Miss Cleo.
But yeah, so like what if
she was proven a fraud, I think.
Weren't they all? But that's what I'm saying though, is with that mentality, you can have the Mandela effect happen where we as a conscious society collectively have so altered our perception that we now perceive this world as existence, literally being the entire earth could have hopped a dimensional timeline where this is the earth that we live on. Just like Back to the Future where you talk about you change this thing here and all of a sudden there's this offshoot.
Right.
Well, what if there's already all of these offshoots? It's just you resonating on a different frequency as you change what timeline you're actually sitting in. Yeah. And as you keep.
So I'm not actually interacting with you that I grew up with. I may be interacting with the 12th version from the last several major decisions I've made, whatever.
Yeah.
That have skewed my reality off to this other multiverse.
And vice versa.
Where everything in existence is the way it is today. Like the people that I know and love are around me, where in other multiverses, there may be a father or mother may have passed, or there may have been, some kind of other trauma in my life that had nothing to do with my, you know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe I never had that trauma.
I mean, you're pretty klutzy, bro.
I'm pretty klutzy.
It's true.
I goof around on the mic over here. I'm like touching everything.
Yeah, your balance is not the best. Yeah, but you like playing with cables.
I
that one's got to pay your bills.
Like a jump rope. I want to just spin it around.
No, please no. Please.
All right, sorry.
Please no.
I apologize.
I don't, just please no.
Ahead of time, I'm just going to apologize.
We're too late for a preface at this point, again, as usual.
Is it really too late?
For a preface, it is.
I guess so.
When you're beyond halfway through, you can't come back and be like, oh, by the way, the first half of what just happened, I'm gonna give you a heads up on that. No, it's already transpired. They've already picked up on it. They know what's happening. It's okay. Our audience is pretty smart.
So 3 sheets to the wind is actually a nautical term. And it references the fact that, your 3 main sails, if the ropes aren't tended to properly, they will flap around in the breeze. So if you're
not keeping your ship tight enough,
referenced as being 3 sheets to the wind, that's where that term comes from.
Yeah, you notice how I said ship? That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, I'm not ship.
I am punning.
Yeah, get your ship together.
Hey, I'm just saying. It worked out. I did good. Slap hands.
You like my little nautical term? Yeah. P falls out. Who's left?
What? I didn't hear what happened.
Repeat.
3 Pete's?
Pete and repeat are on a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
No, that's there.
Pete and repeat are on a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
No, that's not the joke.
No, Pete and repeat are on it. That's the way that my grandfather told me.
No, that's not the joke. That's not how I heard it.
That's the joke I know.
That's my joke. And her joke, apparently.
Yeah, no, I heard it was just that they were brothers.
It was just to tip my glass over.
Oh yeah, but I caught it, dude. I didn't spill nothing.
Good thing you drank it already.
Oh, there's a little dribble. That's all right. I'll just mop that up. There you go.
All right there.
Yeah, no, I heard it. It was just that it was the 2 brothers and that the one brother left. So there was no boat. I don't know what you need the boat for. The boat doesn't. What is,
What do you know about Pete and repeat?
What's the pertinency of that? You're adding flair. I don't need more flair.
They were on a boat.
On a boat.
I don't want to talk about my flair.
There's other people that were made to wear flair. Oh, I can't.
The Nazis had flair. They made the Jews wear.
Yeah, we should have prefaced. We had 9% beers in the green room warming up.
9.6.
You had more than one, and I helped you with the second one, but barely.
So is that like 18?
What is this, like 19, a 7%?
How many percentages was...
I don't think that's not how that math works on those.
Well, that's not as bad as taking 5 shots of tequila, right?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what tequila we're talking about and who's drinking them. If it was me drinking, I can drink tequila all night long. I drink the beer.
Is there a difference between? Answer me this: is there a difference between high quality tequila, metabolically, and cheap stuff?
All right, so I'm not a biochemist, and I don't know. Gonna be honest with you,
because I don't know. I feel like in my experience, and I'm just talking vodka here, that cheap vodka gives me like a massive headache in the morning.
Well, so
it seems like the good stuff doesn't really do that as much. I don't know if that's just me.
But see, here's the difference: vodka can be made from potato, corn, and wheat.
It's usually made from nothing but sugar anymore. But yeah.
Well, so that's the thing though. So depending on where you're actually making that alcohol from,
anything that produces convertible starches, basically.
You're a convertible starch. With the top. Sorry.
Half the time I am.
Yeah. What are you the other half of the time?
Well, sometimes I feel like a nut. You know what I mean?
Hey, call me sometime when you don't have class. Hey.
Dangerfield.
But yeah, because I was researching that before, where depending on what the alcohol is made from, definitely, I mean, same thing as you consuming anything else.
That it's a different toxin actually has a slightly different effect on you.
So I want to say,
Remember people say like the brown stuff always makes me sick.
I want to say that on a molecular level, alcohol looks like, whatever molecule. Like, I'm not going to draw it or give you the word.
It has a
picture,
certain
'cause I don't
shape
know.
and yeah.
But correct, it has a certain molecular structure.
Geometric.
My assumption is within that molecular structure, there's allowances for modifications to make that structure. And that would be where you skew into getting a cleaner output or, a less. So I feel as though with the right ingredients or the white.
So you're saying even though Walter White used the same ingredients, he made a much better product just because he was skilled.
Possibly. Absolutely.
I don't know why I got that from that, but I'm just saying.
Well, right, because what if the same thing as a baker. All of a sudden, when you, a solid baker is going to scrape the entire bowl and it's going to get every little bit. And all of a sudden the timing's just right. And, you can tell when things are just a little different or off. So yeah, if you're appropriately utilizing all of the resources, I feel as though you would get a better product, regardless of what it is you're making.
Which just reminded me. So,
you can be making duct tape wallets, man. That thing could be banging. Just saying.
I was just thinking about you want to be local, right? Talking about the cheesesteak, which really, truly only exists in this area.
Okay.
But it's something about the bread, right? And I've heard it said that when said company tried to make bread in other areas, it just didn't work because the water was different, the atmosphere was different, and it didn't taste the same.
You can say the same.
We say that about our pizza dough.
Yeah, well, you can say the same thing about like Guinness, because Guinness in the States is not the same as Guinness in Canada.
Well, and I think Guinness in Canada is still, they probably still use barrel.
Well, but it's coming across the pond. So, it's.
But I'm saying it when properly made, and I don't know if Guinness still does this at all anymore, but those types of beers in England that were made by, now the interesting bit of history, that the term pub comes from public house, which was when the owner of an establishment big enough and with the knowledge enough to make his own beer and invite people to come drink it would open up a public house. And when you went to a pub, it was, generally speaking, it was probably the quality of their beer that drew you there, if not just the location. That you would go to a certain pub because they made a certain stout or a porter or a bitter or something that you really liked, because that was their specialty. And most times it never left, like it would be fermented in the cask, and it would be served from the cask, which is why most English brews have very low CO2, because it's only the pressure that you can hold. It's just, it kind of maxes out at a certain point within the cask because it's a kind of a porous, I'm assuming.
You don't want it to sweat on you.
But like,
that's why make me sweat.
Generally speaking, a Guinness from Ireland would more likely be very syrup-like and would probably take a long time to pour over the top of a spoon properly. It would take close to 5 minutes to draft.
To cascade.
Because it trickles out of, there's no pressure in the line. There's no line. There's just a keg, like a barrel on the wall.
Glock, 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 glock.
Well, it would be the natural pressure that was built within the barrel that's still technically fermenting.
Right. See, but that's the thing, dude. Like, cause that's
real beer.
I even say with food, with the appropriate temperature, man, as leftovers or whatever else, like anything it should taste great when it's served as it's, as it's literally made. And it's like, hey, this is how it's supposed to be served. However, once it's become room temp, it's cooled down, it's time to be like leftovers technically, it should still be really good, if not better. I mean, I feel like pretty much anything should be, once you can get it to that point. That's why, I don't even like cold soda. I don't like cold water. Like, I want room temp.
But that's all I'm saying is that generally speaking,
I like room temp pizza. I'm just saying, man, room temp's good.
And
Cellar temp.
I look at the English styles of beer because I like that old world style that, even when we remake them today, we usually make them with a higher CO2 level just because it's it's what we're used to. But truthfully, it used to be cask ale that you were getting when you went to a pub. It wasn't out of a draft system. That was the draft system.
There was it was gravity system.
Exactly. Well, it was gravity and the natural CO2 that would build up within the cask as it was sitting there. Because
you'd also have firkins, cellar pumps.
Chances are that would be the secondary fermenter that you would actually serve it from. You would take it up out of the basement. You would hang it up outside the back of the bar. When it emptied, you'd roll up another one, hang that one up outside the bar. Like, that's the only thing that would change. Sorry about that. Anyhow.
I like to preface my action.
I already prefaced. I can't preface anymore.
I apologize. Yeah, that's a 9%ers in the green room, and you had more. It's okay. I might have to make you a second meal. It's all right. See what happens. Might be too late for you.
A snack, maybe?
Might just push you out the door. Get away, son. You bother me. You bother me.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You definitely can't.
You should probably go home, but you can't stay here.
Well, I mean, it depends.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm not one to tell you what you should or shouldn't do.
No, I'm not going to judge.
However, I'm going to tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to stay.
Not even a joke.
Dude,
I'm just saying. Not gonna work here anyway.
Oh, do you know George Lopez? One of his stories. He's talking about how abuelitas, your grandmothers, when you go to ask them for something, Mexican grandmothers beat you to the punch, and before you even get to ask what it is, they tell you no, and they're like, "But you don't even know what it is." They're like, "Yeah, but I know what it's not." It's just like,
it's not going to happen. That's what it's not.
But it's just in the way, and that very much, that has always resonated with me because it's like, yeah, that's very true.
And how is it they always knew and like we never understood that. I think we get it now.
It's the tone,
but like we never understood like how it is like the minute you come up, like they already know what you're going to say. And they're like, no, it's not going to happen.
Dude, there's a difference between "Dad, I love you" and "Dad, I love you."
No. What the hell do you want?
You're like, yeah, I'm not your father right now. What do you need?
Let's just
go ask your mother.
It's so rude.
And they're like, what did your dad say? But like, to ask you, but like, go ask him again. But like, Mom told us to ask you again. But like, good, you can ask her why she's asking me to ask you again. I don't get this. Go ask that. But like, what?
Because if you ask me, the answer is no.
You just keep going in that loop, and before you know it, they're like, forget this. I'm gonna go outside with my ball.
Well, remember that trigger where you pull like your parents, like if both your parents had to be so agreeable with each other that they were like, I don't know, ask your mother. And like you ask your mother and she goes, well, I don't know, ask your father. And then you go back to your father and you go, well, she said it's okay.
I mean, that's lying. I wouldn't lie.
Is it? I mean, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Because by saying, ask your mother, like, they said, I trust their opinion. And the other saying, I trust your opinion. And
but see, if you would have worded it,
so I'm just going to assume like yes is the answer. So
see, but that's the thing.
Why wouldn't I do that? I mean,
at that point, you're putting words. If you were like, so I get the feeling that Mom's okay with whatever you say because she said just to ask you. So I'm assuming she's trusting your opinion. So she's good with it.
Well, ask your father wasn't the same thing as it's okay with me as if it's okay with, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, That wasn't the
your
same
assumption.
thing.
Your
So
assumption.
I did make a mild jump.
A mild jump.
Logically, I may have made a.
You went from paraphrasing to, and you were just like, no, she said it was cool. We're good. It's like, did she? Did she really?
It's not a lie.
Dude, I think that's the definition of a lie.
Dude.
You've gone beyond modifying to paraphrase, and you're just like, no, that's an assumption. You said it yourself.
All right, yeah, it's an assumption.
You're like trying to rationally, like, no. You're like, yeah, I totally did that then, man.
Well, it's like one said it was okay with the other, and the other said it was okay with the other, and it's just doesn't that mean it's okay?
See,
wait, did two negatives make?
But see, this is where I learned to ask the question. If one says go ask the other, you go to the other and just be like, hey, if I were to ask dad and he said this was cool, would you be okay with this? And it's like, well, if your dad's okay, then fine. And it's just like, cool. And then you go back and be like, yeah, mom said it was good. That's different.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, but that one you actually got the true words and the knowledge of and said, hey, you painted the scenario.
But, I'm not wrong.
And you got the okay for it. Dude, you're inserting words into people's mouths.
I'm not wrong. Everybody's done it.
Well, that doesn't mean that's not neither wrong nor right just because others have done it. I don't.
But I mean, we got an uphill battle. We're fighting against parents that are practically psychic. I mean, like we were just talking about. Like they know just by the sound of your voice if you're lying. It's like, oh. It's like this voice, you know what I'm saying?
You put like the mama penguin.
It's like he's guilty.
The baby penguin. That was nowhere near. That was not.
What? No, I wasn't even trying.
Near nada.
That's your thing.
You said.
You said. In the mirror.
Oh, God, no. Which, by the way, it's time to start wrapping this up.
Oh, is it time? It's always time.
Oh, yeah, actually it is. Yeah, we're getting to that place where it's like, hey, they're flashing the sign. They're starting to bring up the music in the background.
But I mean, we got other content out there, so you can always get back on there and listen to some old content, you know?
I mean, we do it.
We're never really gone. We're still out there.
I mean, wherever you go,
there you are.
There you'll be. And when you get there, then we'll be now soon.
So what you want to do is
you want to make a left.
You want to make a left.
When you come out,
make another left.
But yeah, no, as always, well, I mean, we just, as we get to either a very heartfelt conversation and or
ramble on.
No, that's just always with you.
Oh, why is it just all right?
Because very rarely do I ramble on. I mean, I'll tangent. But there's a difference between tangenting and rambling.
Look, I love me, so it's okay. You can't say nothing.
It's okay. I'll be the bad guy.
You can't say nothing to hurt my feelings. It's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, hey, so if you want to reach out to us, you can hit us up, ITY, directionsandmusic.org, or individually, Gemini, GEMINI, directionsmusic.org.
Or Philly D, PHILLYD. At directionsandmusic.org.
Dude, you have more fun saying mine than
I know.
It's all good. That's what we do here, though. But yeah, this is I'm telling you, directionsandmusic.org. Thanks for checking us out. We appreciate you all. This is Philly D,
Mr. Gemini.
Fact checker, Mr. JD.
Yeah, and as always, fam, we're gonna tell you, be good to yourself, be good to everyone else.
Much love.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.
Peace.